I'm really not sure where to start, guys. Happy New Year, I suppose. I apologize for my voice a little bit. It might sound down a little bit. I might cough a little bit through the video. Dealing with a little bit of an illness. Lost my voice New Year's Eve night in the Monday. What can I say? I was excited. I feel like I'm probably not alone there. I'm back. This is a playoff preview / Week 17 review. So that means the Bills beat the Dolphins, and they got something to go their way. The Bengals beat the Ravens. And the Bills, for the first time since January 8th, 2000, will play a playoff game. It's been 18 years. Unbelievable. I can't even begin to explain what it means to me. And I know it might sound funny to fans of the Patriots or Steelers or whatever. The wild card round is probably just so lost on you because you rarely, if ever, play in the wild card round. And here the Bills are as the 6th seed in the wild card round, and look at the reactions of Bills fans. It might seem hilarious to you, but I feel like you can at least maybe try to appreciate how excited we are about this moment. It's been rough, man. I was 11 years old the last time the Bills played a playoff game, and look at the way it ended. Guaranteed I see a replay of that this week. Or, well, some people will see a replay of it. Spoiler alert, I'm going to Jacksonville. I know that, traveling and everything wasn't easy for everyone. I found a sort of way around it. And I really can't wait. Got across the old Bills playoff game off the bucket list. Could be another 18 years for all I know. So you better go if you get the opportunity. I probably won't go to New England if they pull this game out against Jacksonville. Got to save money for the Super Bowl, Whatever. Anyway, I still don't really know how to describe what Sunday meant to me. I'm so happy for all the fans, including myself. Sorry, but I'm happy for myself because I'm in that. I'm happy for Terry Pagula and Sean McDermott and Kyle Williams and Eric Wood and guys who've been there forever, and even old players from the team that still root for them. The guys that were part of the drought that just maybe wanted to see it end. Whatever. I'm happy for all of you. I don't care. It's done. It's over. This giant weight is off my head. This anvil is off of my head. The weight is off my shoulders. I don't have to see that stupid graphic about the longest playoff drought, or they showed on Sunday, the timer since the last Bills playoff game. Please. It's done. Cleveland Browns, you're on the clock with the NFL draft and with the longest playoff drought. That's you guys now. It's over, guys. It's done. It's dead. And you don't have to apologize for, people will tell you they backed into the playoffs. You don't have to apologize for that. I used to talk about, maybe the Bills, maybe their plan was to just sort of get in and just get beat up in week 1. Whatever. Or in week 1 of the playoffs, or in the wild card round. You're not really backing in. I guess the tiebreakers are what they are. You don't have to apologize for that. You don't have to apologize because the Ravens beat the Browns twice and it hurt their strength of victory. Who cares? Or, or that there's a 4-way tie for the 6th seed, or the 5th and 6th seed, and you're one of the teams that gets in. So what? Well, Bills, you backed in. Oh, yeah, you're right, I guess. We backed in, so I guess we shouldn't go, or that means we don't have a shot at anything. Which is hilarious, actually, because the Bills' playoff odds now, I believe, are 125-1, which is worse than what they were at the beginning of the season. Hilarious. How are they worse? They're in the playoffs, and their odds of winning the Super Bowl are worse. Granted, I wouldn't bet them. Probably wouldn't bet them to beat Jacksonville. We'll talk about that. But it's dead. The drought is dead. That's really, I just keep sending me the reaction videos. I love them. I can't tell you how I reacted. I kind of just fell back and just put my hands over my face. It was just this overwhelming like storm, this waterfall of emotion. It didn't necessarily pour out of my eyes or whatever. I didn't cry, but oh my God, it just felt like all this stuff rushing through my body, and I just had to like adrenaline, everything, and I just had to lay back and just put my hands over my head and just sort of like take it all in, like mentally, emotionally, physically. I didn't want to overreact in any way. This is all after the game. Like during the Tyler Boyd play, I was nuts. But and I love the videos that I keep seeing online about like my favorite part of all those videos is the part where like Boyd catches the pass and you just see this like yeah, and then he goes and turns or whatever and just keeps running and scores a touchdown, and then there's like this spike of people just completely chaotic, just madness. That is my favorite part of all of those videos, and I could watch them forever. And I probably will. I'll just keep watching them. Just what a moment. What a moment for Bills fans, for the Mafia. You know, I tried to tell you at the beginning of the season this team wasn't tanking or rebuilding. They were better than a lot of people gave them credit for being, and there they are. Like, they're in the playoffs. I don't care that... excuse me. I don't care how they got there. So I don't talk to me about the Peterman game. Don't talk to me about Zay Jones' drop, about the Cincinnati game, or about not showing up on Thursday Night Football against the Jets or getting trampled by the Saints. I don't care. None of that matters anymore. None of it. So, it's the Bills and the Jaguars. It's the Bills against Doug Marrone. By the way, this cup, just felt the need to address it. First of all, thank you, Bengals, obviously. I got this at the Bills-Bengals game last season. The Bills beat the Bengals, I believe it was 16-12. They batted down like a 32-yard pass at the end of regulation to win the game. So, that's why I have this. I like to collect these when I go visit other stadiums. I'll probably get one in Jacksonville. I don't care if Jacksonville even wins. Like, I've lost a couple. I've lost more than a couple. Yeah, I've definitely lost a few, which sucks. I have to go back. Anyway, whatever. I think it's a fun thing to grab when you're at a practical thing. Like, it's useful. I can drink out of it. Anyway, that's just me. So, like I said, happy for all of you, all Bills fans, and appreciate, like, look at the, to tie in with this, the Bills fans pouring money into Andy Dalton's foundation, like $150,000, there you go, bang. That goes to show you how just, like, awesome we really are. You can read the Deadspins and the Barstools, which I do. I'm not trashing them by any means. Like, it's funny to me. But, like, that's not representative of a large portion of the Bills fan populace. Like, that's not us. Sure, I've seen some of that stuff in the parking lots, but we're not all just table jumpers and setting ourselves on fire and having sex in the parking lots and whatever. It's just, 17 years to do a lot. It'll make you binge drink before the games. I don't know if there's ever really going to be any going back now that it's happened, but whatever. It is what it is. Just to know that, like, see stories like the Andy and Jordan Dalton Foundation, and just know that Bills fans are better than that. Like, that just goes to show you, like the camaraderie of being a Bills fan, of the city, of just what it means to sort of live here in Buffalo. And, it gets a bad rap nationally. Like, oh, Buffalo, haha. Oh, the weather, it snows a lot. And, like, yeah, it does. It snows. But, like, so what? People who have trashed Buffalo, really, I feel like have never been here and just sort of talked to, like, the good people of the city. Like, we got great people here, man, and great football fans, and wouldn't trade it for anything, really, bottom line. So now that I've wasted, like, 10 minutes of video, because I'm just struggling to, like, transition off of this. I just want to live in this moment forever. The Bills are playing the Jaguars. Like I said, I'm going, so see you there, maybe. Doug Marrone. Marcel Darius, Paul Postlesny. Fun. Those things are fun. The Jaguars have finished 10-6, but they were 10-4 after getting off to a 3-3 start. They won 6 out of 7 games, then lost their last 2 to Jimmy Garoppolo and then the Titans, which for whatever reason they said they were trying to win. They finished 6th in yards on offense, 5th in points, 2nd in yards on defense, 2nd in points. This team is not to be taken lightly, but they do have Blake Bortles. Like, he could be the ultimate ace in the hole, is Blake Bortles. Now, he only threw 1 pick 6 this year. It's not very Bortles-esque, if that's, a thing. 21 touchdowns, 13 picks. They, Leonard Fournette, total stud at running back, but averages less than 4 yards per carry. They've had some, this crazy thing going on at wide receiver. Marquise Lee, don't know if he's going to be healthy enough to play. Excuse me. Keelan Cole, kind of a revelation, just steps in and is playing pretty well, averaging 17.8 yards per catch. Allen Hurns is back. Dede Westbrook is there. It's tough receiving core to get a read on. Because Blake Bortles is throwing to them, and a lot of them average just over 50% in catch percentage. Like Marquise Lee is 58% of his targets. Keelan Cole 50%. Allen Hurns is close to 70%. Dede Westbrook 52%. They don't use the tight ends that much. Mercedes Lewis had 5 touchdowns, but 3 were in one game, I believe. The tight ends really only get, about 6 targets a game, it looks like. Yeah, that sounds about right. 5 or 6 targets a game. The running backs don't get a ton, maybe 4 or 5. So, they're a tough team to get a read on offensively. They scored 7 touchdowns defensively and 48 touchdowns overall, it looks like. So, they're, like I said, they're definitely not to be taken lightly. Maybe 40 touchdowns. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. They allowed 29 touchdowns. But a couple were on special teams. One was a pick 6, and so it's 26 touchdowns really on defense. And if you take away the Garoppolo game, there's 5 there. The other 15 games, they only allowed 21 touchdowns. They're good, guys. They got some really good players. Everyone. Telvin Smith has been fantastic. Not just got fantastic. Miles Jack, really good. Calais Campbell, unbelievable, 14.5 sacks. Yannick Ngakoue, 22 years old, right? Or 23 maybe. Sorry. Little sick. Voice a little out of there. New Year's Eve, man. Bills made the playoffs. Yannick Ngakoue, 22 years old. Unbelievable player. 12 sacks. Malik Jackson is there. A lot of people thought that might be a bust of a free agent, but it's not. Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Bouye, great corners. Tashawn Gibson, who the Browns inexplicably really just didn't want to pay. And Barry Church, they're good. This is a good team. Dante Fowler there, doesn't start but plays. Unreal. They got, wow. I just keep looking at it wow. This is, I could see this being a very low-scoring game for the Bills, especially if LaShawn McCoy can't play. Please, ankle, it's so tough. It's so tough for a running back, especially one that's, relies on being shifty like he does. And, there's almost no amount, it just needs rest. There's, almost no amount of cortisone or whatever that you can stick into his ankle and make it feel better, I feel like. It's your ankle. You have to use it to get around and jump and run and cut. So I'm a little pessimistic about that. Tyrod might need to do a lot of the running. Tyrod has no passing touchdowns to wide receivers since Zay Jones against Kansas City. None all month of December. And the Zay Jones one is his only one since November 2nd, the Jets game. Wow. That's his only touchdown pass to a wide receiver. Zay Jones against Kansas City. He's only one since November 2nd. That's 2 months. He did miss one game in his defense. It's brutal. Honestly, the Bills are 8.5 or 9 point dogs. It's a brutal matchup on paper for the Bills. But like I alluded to earlier, the Bills might have the ultimate ace in the hole, and that is the fact that Blake Bortles is not their quarterback, who is prone to turnovers, even though he might have been better about it this year. The Bills are not prone to turnovers, so the Jaguars will probably, even though the Jaguars do force a hell of a lot of turnovers, that could be huge for the Bills. Making Jacksonville go the length of the field against their defense, because I like the Bills' defense. I trust the Bills' defense. Poyer and Hyde, fantastic all year long. Poyer coming through again on Sunday. It looked like the Bills might even blow the Miami game because it looked like they were pretty distracted probably by what was going on in Baltimore. So I'm going to make my first ever playoff prediction, Bills playoff prediction. I'm going to pick the Jaguars to beat the Bills 20-13, although it would be fun to go to New England next week. I'm not sure that was the right adjective for it. Anyway, I'm going to say Jags 20-13 over the Bills, but the drought is over, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Bills fans, Bills Mafia everywhere. Hit me up on Twitter if you like. Twitter handle the same as my YouTube username. As always, enjoy your Wildcard Weekend. Not as always. That is definitely not as always. I can't believe I just said that. Enjoy your Wildcard Weekend. And above all else, go Bills.